just want to start by thanking you, Eauclaire. We got all of the members here today for chatting with us at the Christian Beat. We'll start with your most recent release and kind of see where the conversation goes from there.
Sweet.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Thanks
for
having us.
Yeah, absolutely. So I kind of, you, me, the kids. I kind of want to know where the idea started for you. Kind of what was the first thing that kind of prompted the writing for that track?
Kyle. Kyle had the idea.
Man, it was just like it came as like a pretty short lyrical idea. Just kind of like this idea of like grabbing your family, grabbing what's most important, and just getting out and being together. And really that being like the thing that matters most, no matter what, like if you're with your family, if you're with the ones you love, like, that's all you need. Like, yeah. So that's kind of it was. I
And
think
you
it
had
was,
that little
yeah,
you, me, the kids.
yeah. The
Sing
hook,
forward.
that line was. I kind of had that and like a really short verse, and then brought it to these guys, and we kind of just workshopped the rest of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great. And what the music video that you put out, it's funny because it matches so much of kind of what you just said about kind of your initial thought for the track. I'm kind of curious how easy that was, or if you tried to overthink putting the music video together, or kind of how that went.
And I mean, we actually filmed it all in one day, believe it or not, with
Yeah.
all the kids and all the families. We had a couple things we had to shoot a day later, but
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, the idea came about pretty easily. Ben Roberts, who directed the video, kind of heard the song and took what we like our idea of just having all the families and kids in it and came up with these cool kind of shots and different scenarios. And then we just went and shot it in a day. And I think he had an edit to us by like the next night. Like
Yeah.
the next, he was excited
Yeah, he
about
was
it. So
stoked on it.
he like got it together really quick. So yeah, but it ended up being a cool, just a uh day in the life kind of the modern parent and all the craziness that goes along with that.
That song was fun because like that video came together very quickly as the song did because like you said, Kyle had this idea that was just like the root of the song, the whole thing, like
Mhm.
you, me, the kids, that was obviously the take home of the song and the main melody or main lyric line. And so the song, I think we got together and wrote it in like less than a couple hours. I
Yeah.
mean, like we just boom, 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 like just from like a line or two to that song. And so I think the video took shape in a very similar way because, like he said, it's like this is the life we're living all the time, So it's kind of a motto
Yeah.
of just all of our individual family lives. But yeah, so it's
Did
fun.
you have to do any convincing to get the families to participate, or were they all on board?
There was a little coercion.
Oh yeah, yeah. My oldest son was loving it, and my middle son loved it for like an hour, and then after that he was like, I don't want to do this anymore. He actually was like, I don't want to hear this song anymore. And I was like, I kind of understand it, man. Like, he's 5, and he was over it. Yeah.
At one point, he was like,
He was, yeah, he was covering his ears.
Oh, that's when you have the kind of blooper shot come in later.
Yeah, he did tell me just the other day. He said, "Dad, I think I actually like that song now."
nice. We
Like,
brainwashed him
buddy.
by making him listen to it a million times.
Oh, that's funny. Well, aside from that feedback, what has been some of the other listener feedback that you've gotten on that track, and kind of where you think that's kind of transformed maybe some of your thoughts on the song since you've written it?
Mm. I know a lot of people have just sent us videos of them like in the car with their family, which is so cool because that was the original idea. Uh,
Mhm.
so it came out at the end of May, which is kind of like signal for summer for everybody, right? Like school's out and a cool song just for families going on vacay and stuff. So it's been fun to see friends and
Yeah,
family use it that way.
I've had multiple friends like send me videos of just like that is the background to like their kiddos running around on a trip, and it's just cool to see like this is sometimes you write a song and it's like for you, and
Mhm.
this song I feel like is kind of for everyone, you know.
Yeah.
And it's fun to see other people like using it in similar ways and in different ways too. I got some feedback from a lady who her children are like, she's like almost an empty nester, and like for her it brought back a lot of like memories. It made her emotional because she was thinking of all the times she had with her children, and now she's getting ready to be an empty nester. And so that's totally different, way out of my context. But yeah, I love it.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. And I know that you obviously aren't new to music by any stretch, but you did just have a new label signing with NCS. So I'm just curious kind of what that means for you as a group, and kind of what you see kind of how that's gonna propel you forward for what's next.
Mm. I've known John Chisholm since 2017. We met in a coffee shop. This sounds like a very cliche Nashville story, but he was talking about all this songwriting stuff, and I was sitting next to him, and I was new to town and just looking
He's on the
for.
phone, not talking to
He
you.
was on the
He was
phone.
trying
Yeah,
to get
he was
someone.
like, Nashville Christian songwriters, this and that, and so I was like, man, I should probably meet this guy. I'm like, my heart's pounding. I'm like, this is my moment. I got to meet this guy.
I'm in Nashville.
I'm
I'm a
sitting next to an
Christian.
executive. Yeah.
I was
I
songwriter.
want to be a songwriter. So I actually Facebook messaged him because that's what you did in 2017
Oh, yes.
after he left, and was like, hey, I was sitting next to you. You were on the phone. And his response was like, wow, you're a creeper. Like you were listening to my phone. And so we just hit it off, and I helped him with a couple projects. We launched a podcast, and we've just worked together on and off for like 7 years now. And the last 3 years, we've worked a lot more closely on just building his company. Um, and so that naturally led us to bringing the idea of bringing on artists, starting some label services, and building. And so I was like, well, we have a thing, so why don't we just start with our own artists? So it's kind of the start of something new for NCS. But as for us, it's like it's really an opportunity for us to do music consistently the way we've wanted to all along, and have some like partnership in that and some resource to be able to do it the way
Because
we
up
want to
until
do
this
it.
point, we've done everything in house, legit
Yeah,
everything,
yeah,
from marketing to production to recording to
yep. To paying for
everything
everything
to
and
paying for
doing
everything.
like
Yeah,
just
yeah,
figuring it out, like being scrappy.
Yeah.
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 That's awesome. That's awesome. So I guess I kind of want to ask, uh, as you're writing, your songwriting is kind of important to you for sure, but how do you pick the songs to release versus the ones not? It's always, because there's how many songs that I'm sure that gets written and will never, never see the release there. So I'm just curious for your group, kind of how you go about knowing what the ones are that should be taken through the whole process.
Mm.
Well, if you figure out a good answer to that question, let
Let
us
us
know, and we'll.
We're probably kind of an anomaly because I think a lot of people would say like, oh, we wrote 100 songs and we picked 10.
Okay.
But I mean, more so been like, well, we wrote 10 songs, let's pick 8. Like, there's, you know what I mean? Like, I think we've gone into writing with intention to like, let's write a song about this versus like, let's just write 100 songs and see which one fits.
Mhm.
And so we really don't have a huge back catalog of unreleased stuff. Most of it's like future stuff that we will release. Um, so yeah, I think we've all written independently. I'm sure like I have songs that these guys will never hear or you will never hear, hopefully. Um, but as far as like collectively us
Yeah.
together as the band,
Mhm.
we've attacked songs like pretty like
Mhm.
intentionally, I think. That makes sense at all?
Yeah, no, it's funny though, because I feel like that's not the most frequently answered way of doing that. Like I think it's to your
Yeah,
point, it's more frequently we wrote 100 and then we're trying to see which ones that pulled together. So that's always interesting to me to hear that.
totally.
We've told people this really anytime we're interviewed or people ask about the band, like who writes what song or where'd you guys come up with this idea? And it's really fun because like I sing all really, but maybe one of our recorded songs. Bryant sang one on our first record. And so I sing a lot of the songs. They're like, what did you think? How did you come up with this idea for Grow? And I'm like, ask him. Or like Ocean Floor is so good. I'm like, He wrote it. It's a lot of fun. I say that to
Yeah.
say, really, the music typically it gets brought as like a nugget of an idea. Like Kyle was saying, hey, I
Yeah.
had this line. And so we send a voice note because up until a couple months ago, we were all in different states. I
Mhm.
still live in Alabama. They're both in Nashville now. He was in Missouri. That's where we all met years back. So really, it's just been kind of this send these little voice notes, and then we all kind of attack the song together typically.
Mhm.
So we've always said like this band couldn't happen, this music couldn't happen without each one of us because we've all been worship leaders, multi-instrumentalists, singers, like we all kind of do a little bit of everything. And so the way the songs come out, it has everybody's fingerprint on it. You know what I mean? So that's what's a lot of fun. And I think that's why we maybe don't have a big backstock of like a catalog of
Mhm.
songs is because typically if we're coming together to work on it, like we're already committed to like whatever, like he said, that original idea is, or the nugget of a melody or a lyric or something.
Absolutely. So you obviously all go into those with kind of like that nugget, that kind of idea, but what else do you generally try to bring to the lyric, to the music, like the feelings or whatever that you want the listeners to get once they would hear it? How do you bring that and kind of bring all three of yours perspective together when you're putting that together?
Mm.
I feel like we all have like we all do multiple things. We all sing and things like that. We all write, but we also all have like different strengths too. So like that, I feel like our strengths complement each other very well. Um, so that's like a very practical answer. It's like Bryant's really good at some stuff that I'm not, and same with Justin. It's like so. It's like I feel like all of our strengths work well together. And then on like a deeper level, I just feel like we've all been friends for such a long time. Like, and it's like we just like I feel like there's something I don't know. Every musician probably has this at one point in their life. Like, there's just certain people you just click with,
Mhm.
and you just end up writing really well together. You end up playing really well together. And I feel like we discovered that back in our college days, like
Mhm.
when just jamming together, leading worship together, doing random stuff.
Mhm.
Um,
A lot of shared life, both musically
yeah,
and just in general.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
Yeah.
living life, being friends for now the better part of 15, maybe
Mm-hmm.
20,
Yeah.
closer to 20 years. So
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah.
yeah.
There's a lot of like yeah, things we don't have to say, like in a session where we're feeling a song
Yeah.
going a certain way and it's like we all feel it. And I
Mm-hmm.
think we're all kind of like feelers in the sense of like if the song doesn't feel right, if it doesn't
Yeah.
hit you in a certain way, then
Mhm.
kind of what's the point? Like it's gotta
Mm-hmm.
there's a certain amount of like yeah, feeling or emotion tied. And this is from feedback from even people who've listened to our music over the years. It's like there's such like a depth of feeling associated with the music. And You Me the Kids is a little lighter, lighter, fun summer song, but there's still like an
Mhm.
element of you feel it, even if you're an
And that
empty
would,
nester
Mm-hmm.
or you have kids. Yeah.
I was just going to say authenticity, like the music that we have chosen, which are really there's kind of three seasons. Like Ocean Blue was a very specific, that's our first record, very
Mhm.
specific sound and feel. Timber was another season of all of our lives, both in the individual marriages and kid life and everything, but that kind of got inserted there. And then now we're in this different part of our lives. And, but all those different seasons have authenticity. So, like the songs that we sing, like if it feels right, that really means it's like authentic to us. Like we
Mm-hmm.
definitely don't sing something that we don't believe in. You know what I mean? It's never been because we've not partnered with any one person, which not every scenario is this way, but some partnerships, well, NCS has given us so much freedom and it's been an awesome partnership so far and we look forward to it. But there are so many scenarios where it's like, I need you to do this for me. I need you to write this song. I need you to, you know what I mean? There are parameters and this has
We
never
need a
had,
radio hit.
we need a radio hit,
Yeah.
we need money,
Yeah.
whatever it is. No, and it's been really fun because I think the music is even taking shape differently in this season, kind of more
Mm-hmm.
of a radio song and which is we're all good with that as long as it's authentic, then we're kind of good with it.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know we're getting close to time, so I'm gonna just kind of give you the opportunity to share what's next, what you're all excited for, and kind of where you see the band going from here.
Hmm. Well, in 2 weeks, we head to Utah. We're playing a festival in Moab, which is in the middle of the desert, and it's
Uh-huh.
awesome. It's called
Yeah.
Heaven on Earth, and it's literally like heaven on earth. Like the stage is in front of the Looking Glass Arch, which is this beautiful rock monument out there. So that's like next in the next couple weeks.
Mhm.
And then yeah, we're planning some shows for the fall,
Mhm.
and then a bunch of other music releases and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and our single comes out at the end of that week. So
Yeah.
we've got another single that comes out
Yep.
July 18th.
Yep. Yep.
Next single called "Help Me Out."
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you want to give a little bit about behind the scenes of kind of like what that track means to you guys and kind of what inspired that one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
this one is how old is it?
Probably 13.
13 years old. Yeah.
The like song itself.
The initial idea, yeah. So we wrote this song, we wrote "Help Me Out" back when we first started playing as a band together in college.
And he wrote this one too.
Yeah. And we never, I mean, we played shows with those songs back then, but we recorded some like demos, but nothing
Yeah.
that we would ever want anyone to hear.
Yeah,
Uh,
please don't.
and then we, obviously we stopped playing for a long time, got back in 2017, and then we just kind of had the idea, what if we kind of reworked that song? Like it was one of our favorites, like make it a little more modern, and yeah, so
It's a little more rock and roll
a
than
little
You
more
Be the
rock and roll.
Kids. It's
Yeah.
kind of our roots of a little, yeah, like some older influences and stuff that
Yeah.
we had back then.
It's got a little pep, little zinging pep to it, you know?
Yeah. It's nice.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to hear it. And I just want to thank you again, Brian, Kyle, and Justin, for taking the time. I really appreciated getting to hear more of your heart and love behind the music that you put out.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Absolutely.
having
Thank you
us.
so
Thank you.
much.